Hi, Dr. Joyner, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to reflect on our midterm grades and our progress so far in food engineering. So just to get started on the first question you wanted us to address, this semester has been pretty challenging, but it's been going pretty well so far. My biggest struggle would obviously be my lack of attendance right now to class. I've actually been working on this assignment all day today as I've been traveling back from the Houston meet that I was at the whole week. So, of course, that's been an issue and kind of a struggle to be able to keep up with assignments and the material in the class, but I've definitely been doing the best I can, and it's definitely going to get better from here on out now that conference is over. So with that being said, to stay on top of my work and ensure that I have been learning the material, I've employed a couple different tactics, and that just includes really taking the time to go over the homework and the quizzes that we do online, and even preparing for those concept checks as best as I can, and trying not to rush any of that because it is really crucial for learning the material. And I do take the homework attempts very seriously as well. I feel like those help me get a first exposure to the material before we go over it in class. Like you mentioned, it is a reverse classroom, essentially a flipped classroom, so you do want to be able to see the material before going to class and trying to attempt a problem without even knowing what's going on. So I do try to take those seriously. Furthermore, I really do try to work closely with other classmates on the problems, quizzes, and tests. As you know, a lot of us got together to work on that first test together, and that was just a really cool experience. I feel like I gained a lot from that, and I really absorbed the material from doing that and talking with everyone about it. So, of course, my biggest struggle is just not being able to see the material explained in class. The material is pretty foreign to food science majors because this is, for most of us, our first engineering course, and so it's been kind of difficult to take a grasp on this material and not be able to have it explained to me. Of course, there is a lot of great information on the website, but it is nice to be there in class, be able to ask questions and things like that. I'm really happy with my progress so far in this course. I think it's going pretty well, but I am a little worried for these next couple of weeks. I feel pretty behind with the material, but I was able to successfully get through this past homework assignment just fine. So I'm feeling okay. The topics, of course, are going to get more difficult as we go on through this semester, so I'm happy that I'll actually be able to be there, and I know I'm going to need to put in a lot of work to keep the progress where I want it to be. My group has been both helpful and kind of not helpful, to be honest. It is nice to hear things in a different explanation, to hear the same explanation, I guess, just told a different way, is what I'm trying to say. And that's just how my brain operates. I like two different coaches giving me the same correction on a dive, just like in the classroom. I like hearing the same topic explained two different ways to make sure that at least one of them sinks in my head really well. And so that's been great for that. However, communication and agreement's been a little rocky as a group. I know that our concept checks have been a little bit rough. Sometimes I do better on the individual concept check than I do as a group because I kind of second guess myself with everyone. So I think in order to improve that, I'd like to get my group together and study for those concept checks as one group so we don't have any discrepancy going into the concept check. And with that being said, I believe my midterm grade does reflect the amount I've learned so far in this course. I feel like I've learned a ton, and it's been a really interesting course for me. Really enjoyed it. I spent a lot of time outside of class making sure my homework, quizzes, and exams do have the maximum effort that they need, because I know the more I put in, the more I'm going to get out with that. I also do put in high effort to prepare my formula sheet for the in-class exam portion, so that's been very helpful. And for the rest of the semester, I really want to aim my learning and understanding improvement towards just trying to stay on top of the material throughout the week and not letting it pile up on Sunday, because I really just don't want to have to be rushed through any assignments. I want to be able to take as much time as I need to make sure that they are done as best as I can make them. And when the course is complete, I expect to use the material, of course, pretty heavily in my career, no matter which path I go. Even if I'm not always directly calculating fluid flow or heat transfer in a plant, making those calculations, I will need to understand what they mean, why they're important, and be able to speak the language of the engineers designing that and be able to help in the problem-solving process. And just the problem-solving skills we learn in class are going to be helpful for any career path I take, even if that's in quality, product development, food safety. That's just going to be a very key skill to have, and so I'm very thankful for that. So with all of that being said, I'm pretty happy so far with my progress in the course. I'm even more happy to say that I will be in class a lot more from here on out. So thanks again for letting me reflect on our midterm checkpoint, and just let me know if you have any questions.